JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, Bogwalk resident shot dead. A man was shot dead at High Mountain in the Bogwalk area of St. Catherine shortly before 10 o'clock on Monday morning. The Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, said the deceased is 26-year-old Dwayne Excel from Shenton District in Bogwalk. According to the police, residents heard explosions and Excel was discovered lying in a pool of blood. Investigations are ongoing. "I want to bury my son with his head," said mother. It has been almost 2 months since the presumed beheading of 32-year-old Mark Wellington, and his mother, Sean Henry, is hoping that a DNA test done last week will give the family closure so they can begin preparations for a funeral. The headless corpses of Wellington and the 17-year-old Leonardo Platy Hendricks were found at Plum Lane in the vicinity of Whitehall Avenue on October 16. Hendricks' head was reportedly found, but what is assumed to be Wellington's remains missing. "But I like bury my child with him head, but if me can't find it, what me I go do?" Henry said on Monday in Rome off Maxfield Avenue, where she lives. Wellington, who was affectionately called Blackie or Mario, is survived by 2 children, a son and a daughter. Henry's granddaughter has been sent away for fear of reprisal attacks. The year 2020 has brought nothing but nightmares for the distressed mother who works 2 jobs. In the space of 12 months, her house was firebombed and she lost a cousin, a nephew, and now a son to murder. Henry said the turmoil is taking a psychological toll on her family as they await the results of the DNA test. Investigators believe the men were killed in connection with ongoing gang violence in a section of Maxfield Avenue called Rome. Sleuths theorize that they were lured to the Whitehall Avenue area where they met their demise. The Major Investigation Division, MID, is probing the double killing. The distraught mom admitted that Wellington had got into trouble with the law and had been charged for murder, spending 2 years in a police lockup. His involvement in the criminal underworld drew sharp rebuke, but Wellington did not heed her warning, said Henry. Wellington was Henry's firstborn and has been labeled a don or strongman in the community, but she denied that he was that influential. "Let me find out where him inna. Me talk to him night and day and beg him. Me bawl, and me tell him whatever him want, him will get it," she said. "You can't be done, and your mother still a support you. Him done 3 account for me. For the murder him go jail for, lawyer fee, food in there, and bail a man." Kenneth Diedrich disclosed too that Hendricks, the other beheaded man, had been plagued by trouble all his life. Diedrich last saw his grandson on the day he died. Hendricks' family is thankful, however, that they have found his head and are preparing for his burial shortly. Diedrich's daughter identified the body. New hospital for St. Catherine, among major infrastructure projects for health sector. The government has commenced preparatory work on 3 major infrastructure projects in the health sector. These are construction of a new hospital in St. Catherine, a corporate office for the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and redevelopment of the University Hospital of the West Indies. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton said the ministry is seeking to contract 3 project managers for the projects, which, he noted, form part of a 10-year strategic development plan for the delivery of improved health care. The plan is to develop the healthcare infrastructure. We have seen the effects of the coronavirus and other issues that have affected the population health-wise. So the master plan has in it a number of hospitals to be built, he said. The plan is to build a Type A hospital for St. Catherine to meet the rising demand for tertiary services due to population growth. It is projected that by 2021, 599 hospital beds will be required for the parish, and by 2031, the figure will move to 644 beds. The Health Ministry has indicated that the infrastructure at the Spanish Town Hospital is aged and has been recommended for replacement. The work to be carried out at the University Hospital includes improvement to outpatient or ambulatory surgery, lecture rooms, conference rooms, upgrading of the cardiology, hybrid, interventional surgery room, and the neonatal intensive care and administrative departments. As it relates to constructing new corporate offices for the ministry, Dr. Tufton said that the entity is now located in 6 different buildings across the corporate area, and the importance of this work requires somewhere that staff can operate comfortably and productively in serving the public. The plan is to construct a monolithic building to house the ministry's over 720 staff members with appropriate amenities, which will result in cost savings, improved shared services and governance, and greater efficiency in operations. 98 new COVID-19 cases, 1 death. Jamaica recorded 1 additional COVID-19 related death and 98 cases of the virus in the last 24 hours. The death of a 60-year-old woman from Kingston and St. Andrew brings the country's death toll to 266. The total number of confirmed cases now stands at 11,369, of which 3,560 are active. Of the 98 new cases, there were 56 males and 42 females with ages ranging from 6 to 95 years. 31 of the cases were recorded in St. Catherine, 15 in Kingston and St. Andrew, 12 in St. James, and 11 in Westmoreland. St. Anne recorded 9, while Clarendon recorded 7, and St. Elizabeth recorded 6. Hanover, St. Mary, and St. Thomas each recorded 2 cases, and Manchester recorded 1 case. There were also 98 patient recoveries, bringing the overall number of recoveries to 7,390. 125 more schools to resume face-to-face classes. 125 more schools will be allowed to resume face-to-face classes, Education Minister Favour Williams announced in Parliament yesterday. She said the government took the decision following favourable completion of the pilot reopening of 17 schools across 9 parishes in November. Along with the pilot schools, 22 others out of the selected 125 are now engaged in face-to-face classes. Having been approved to start on December 7 and end on December 18, the minister advised the House of Representatives yesterday. The additional schools include 66 secondary and 59 primary institutions, which are considered low risk and COVID-19 compliant, Williams said. This leaves the decision to be made on the reopening of 240 public schools. Another 9 schools are expected to be approved to reopen once final COVID-19 inspections are completed. The remaining 86 schools will begin on January 4 at the start of the new school year. Williams said consultations have already taken place with the administrators of the selected institutions, and the principals have started contact with parents. As we move forward and as the ministry continues its physical inspection of schools, the number of schools that can resume face-to-face will increase, she said. We are not in normal times, and schools will continue to use all the approaches to ensure that our students continue to learn during this pandemic, Williams added. She said that since October 5, when schools officially reopened using a mixed approach, 174,973 of the student population were engaged online. Another 12,389 were engaged using the audiovisual approach. 12,213 were engaged using the learning kit, while 48,672 were engaged using both print and broadcast media. All these numbers increased week by week as more and more students received their tablets, she said. Meanwhile, the Education Minister advised that the ministry has received 1,509 applications for the Own Your Own Device initiative, which is supposed to provide 36,000 families with grants for laptops and tablets. The deadline for applications has been extended to the end of December amidst issues with taxpayer registration and student registration numbers and inputting of data. Opposition spokesperson on education and Member of Parliament for St. Andrew Southwestern, Angela Brown-Burke, meanwhile, reiterated concerns about the significant gaps that remain with access to devices and connectivity. She also suggested enabling better flexibility for schools to navigate the three learning approaches along with physical opening. Brown-Burke also said there were gaps in the analysis of the face-to-face pilot. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.